Jason Momoa had walked into the Kelly Clarkson Show that morning expecting good energy, laughter, easy conversation, and a chance to promote his new environmental documentary alongside his next big film. The atmosphere backstage buzzed with excitement. The crew whispered about how charming he was in person, how effortlessly he commanded attention. Jason, towering and relaxed in his loose beige shirt and worn leather boots, exuded the laid-back confidence that made him one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. He greeted everyone with hugs, even cracked a few jokes about being up early for live TV. Everything seemed set for a fun segment. When he finally stepped onto the stage, the audience erupted. Kelly Clarkson's face lit up with that infectious smile she was known for. "Give it up for Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa," she cheered. The crowd went wild, clapping and shouting as Jason waved, flashing that signature grin. He sat down across from Kelly, his energy filling the space. At first, the interview flowed perfectly. Kelly, a natural conversationalist, dove into lighthearted topics: surfing, Jason's love for rock climbing, his Hawaiian heritage, and how he balanced blockbuster fame with fatherhood. Jason was animated, full of laughter, using his hands as he spoke. "My kids are wild, man," he joked, shaking his head. "They've got the same spirit I do, always outside, always barefoot. Drives my neighbors crazy." The audience laughed, and Kelly chimed in, "So basically, the Momoas are the coolest family ever." The warmth between them was genuine. Kelly asked about his new eco-documentary, Waves of Change, which explored marine conservation and indigenous stewardship. Jason's tone softened, his voice grew passionate. He spoke about the ocean as though it were alive, sacred. "We've taken so much, Kel," he said, leaning forward. "The least we can do is start giving back. That's what this film's about. It's not a celebrity thing. It's a human thing." Kelly nodded, clearly impressed. But as producers often do in live television, her next question had been crafted for buzz, and it was sharper than Jason expected. She tilted her head, looking curious yet cautious. "Jason," she began, "some critics have said that while your movie promotes ocean conservation, the production itself had a significant carbon footprint. They're asking, how can you be the face of sustainability when your projects still use massive resources?" The audience went quiet. The warmth in Jason's expression flickered. For a second, his eyes dropped to the floor, his jaw tightening. Then he looked back up, a faint smile trying to mask irritation. "You know, that's an easy headline," he said evenly. "People love to talk without understanding what really goes into making change." Kelly, sensing the slight tension, tried to keep the tone conversational. "Of course," she said, "and I think your fans really do appreciate your message. But it's fair for people to wonder how." Jason's voice cut in, firmer this time. "Kelly, I live what I talk about. I bike to meetings, I build my homes with reclaimed materials, I fight for water rights in Hawaii. You think I'd make a project about the ocean and not think about how it's made?" His words were sharp, though not yet angry. The audience shifted uneasily. Kelly held her ground, her tone still calm. "No doubt, Jason, I think people just want transparency. You've become such a voice for the planet." He interrupted again, louder this time. "Transparency. You want transparency? Try living under a microscope every day, trying to do good while people tear you apart for not being perfect." His voice echoed off the studio walls, raw and edged with frustration. The camera zoomed in slightly, catching the storm brewing in his eyes. Kelly blinked, stunned but professional. She let out a nervous laugh, trying to soften the moment. "Hey, I didn't mean to upset you. I just think people..." But Jason leaned forward, cutting her off once more. "I get it, Kelly. I do, but it's exhausting. Every time I speak up, there's someone ready to call me a hypocrite. I'm human, I'm trying, but it feels like people only want to see the cracks, not the work." A heavy silence filled the air. Even Kelly's normally bubbly energy seemed to deflate. She opened her mouth to steer the topic elsewhere, but Jason had already pushed his chair back. The sound of it scraping across the floor was loud and jarring. "Jason, wait," Kelly said softly, reaching out a hand. But he was shaking his head, frustration written across his face. "Sorry, Kelly, you're great, but I came here to talk about making a difference, not to defend it." The audience gasped as he stood, towering and visibly tense. For a brief moment, he looked at Kelly, not with anger, but with a deep, weary disappointment. Then he turned and walked off stage, his long hair swaying as he disappeared behind the curtains. The audience sat in stunned silence. Kelly, ever the professional, tried to recover the show's rhythm, her voice trembling slightly. "Well, that was unexpected," she said with a forced smile. A few people clapped uncertainly. The cameras cut to commercial, but the damage, and the moment, were already immortalized. Within minutes, social media would explode with clips of the confrontation, the hashtags already writing themselves. What began as a warm conversation had turned into one of the most shocking live moments daytime TV had seen in years, and the world was about to dissect every second of it. The fallout from Jason Momoa's sudden walk-off was instant and ferocious. Within minutes of the live broadcast cutting to commercial, clips of the moment flooded social media. Fans replayed the footage in slow motion, dissecting every glare, every pause, every sharp word exchanged between the two stars. By the afternoon, hashtag Momoa storms off, hashtag Kelly Clash, and hashtag Aquaman meltdown were all trending worldwide. The internet had chosen sides almost immediately. One camp defended Jason, calling him real, passionate, and tired of fake media spin. The other accused him of overreacting, labeling his outburst ego-driven and unprofessional. Memes spread like wildfire, some showing Kelly's stunned expression frozen mid-sentence, others editing Jason's walk-off to dramatic music. Even late-night hosts began making jokes about the Aquaman splash heard around the world. Behind the scenes, however, the atmosphere was anything but funny. The producers of the Kelly Clarkson Show were scrambling to contain the chaos. They held emergency meetings to decide how to respond. Should they release a statement? Apologize? Stay quiet and let it blow over? Kelly, meanwhile, remained calm but visibly shaken. "I didn't mean to push him," she reportedly told her team. "I love Jason, he's one of the good ones. It just got heated." Producers reviewed the footage repeatedly, trying to determine if something in her tone or phrasing had triggered him. But the truth was simpler: Jason had been under immense pressure. His new film had drawn mixed reviews, and environmental critics had accused him of hypocrisy for working with large studios while advocating sustainability. That tension had been simmering long before Kelly ever asked her question. By the next morning, every entertainment outlet had weighed in. Variety called it the most intense daytime TV moment in years. TMZ claimed Jason stormed off in a rage. Even People magazine ran a headline reading, "Jason Momoa's on-air blow-up, passion or pride?" Everyone wanted a comment, but Jason's camp remained silent. His publicist offered no statement. His social media accounts went dark. Fans speculated endlessly. Some claimed he was furious with Kelly, others believed he was simply overwhelmed. 24 hours later, Jason broke his silence. He posted a short video on Instagram, no fancy production, no music, just him standing on a rocky coastline, the ocean roaring behind him. His hair was windswept, his tone calm but heavy. "Aloha, everyone," he began quietly. "I've seen everything that's being said. I want to clear the air." He paused, gazing at the waves before continuing. "I love Kelly. She's a beautiful soul. But sometimes, when you care deeply about something, words can hit you harder than expected. I've spent years fighting for this planet, and when that gets questioned, even a little, it cuts deep. I didn't walk off because I was angry. I walked off because I needed a breath." The video lasted less than 2 minutes, but it struck a chord. Within hours, it had over 20 million views and thousands of comments from fans expressing support. People praised his vulnerability, his honesty, his willingness to own his emotions. Even some of his critics softened, admitting that his message had depth. Kelly Clarkson herself responded with grace, reposting his video with the caption, "All love, Jason. Passion comes from caring, and I respect that completely." A few days later, Kelly addressed the incident on her show. The audience was quiet as she spoke, her tone warm and sincere. "We had a passionate conversation," she said. "Jason is someone who truly cares about the planet, and sometimes that passion runs deep. We talked privately afterward, and there's nothing but love and respect between us. Live TV can be unpredictable, but that's what makes it real." The crowd applauded, relieved. Still, the clip refused to die online. It became one of those cultural moments that lived on, replayed endlessly, debated in think pieces and reaction videos. Some called it a rare glimpse of authenticity in Hollywood, two human beings colliding in a raw, unscripted exchange. Others framed it as a warning about celebrity fragility under media pressure. But regardless of interpretation, one truth remained: people couldn't stop watching. Weeks later, Jason reappeared on The Tonight Show, where Jimmy Fallon couldn't resist teasing him about the incident. "So, Jimmy grinned, you gonna walk off my show if I ask the wrong question?" The audience laughed. Jason smirked, rolling his eyes playfully. "Nah, man," he said. "I'm all good now." Took a few deep breaths, jumped in the ocean, made peace with the world. The crowd cheered, and just like that, the narrative began to shift again. By the time a few months had passed, the tension had faded into entertainment lore. And then, in an unexpected twist, Jason returned to the Kelly Clarkson Show for another interview, this time, by mutual agreement. The energy backstage was cautious but hopeful. When he walked out, Kelly met him with open arms and a wide grin. "Promise me no storming off this time," she joked, wagging a playful finger. Jason laughed loudly, pulling her into a hug. "Only if you promise no trick questions," he shot back, and the audience erupted in laughter and applause. That moment sealed it. Whatever had broken between them was repaired. Their reunion went viral again, not for drama, but for redemption. Viewers loved the sincerity of it, the sense that two passionate people could clash, reflect, and come back stronger. For Jason Momoa, the ordeal became a defining moment, not of anger, but of authenticity. For Kelly Clarkson, it was a reminder that even the most seasoned host can find herself caught in a storm. And for everyone watching, it proved that in an age of scripted interviews and media polish, a little bit of truth, even messy, emotional truth, could still shake the world.